It's on page 2 or 3. We're looking for the indemnification. Yeah, here it is. Page 3, line 19, K. Except in relation to matters in which the officer is adjudged to have acted in bad faith. Right off the bat, you know that until you go through years of court proceedings to have a judgment against an officer that proved where the guy had the videotape and the videotape of the guy videotape and the videotape of the guy videotape and the videotaper, okay? Because they're going to be taking at least 1 or 2 levels of videotape, I can guarantee you that. Until you can prove that the officer was acting in bad faith, he was just going around because I can doing a, you know, sheriff deputy thing. Until then, he's totally indemnified from anything. So they go, unless, you know, except when they've been adjudicated this, a law enforcement officer is indemnified by the law enforcement officer's agency against reasonable costs and expenses, including attorney fees, incurred by the officer in connection with any action, suit, or proceeding brought pursuant to this section in which the officer may be a defendant by reason of the officer being or having been a member of a law enforcement agency. This section shall be implemented, blah, 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 blah. They are held harmless. They go and they say, I had reasonable suspicion to pull this guy over, ID him, or everybody there. And if they can't satisfy this, or they didn't have it on or whatever, you are to detain them for as long as it takes for them to be able to do so. And anything you do to them during that time, or how you do it, the officer is held harmless. So I'm going, this is, you want to know how. You know, I remember as a junior high, you start hearing about Nazi Germany and all this kind of stuff. You know, how did they get to this point? Why did they put up with the checkpoint stuff? Why did they get on the cattle cars? Why did they let them be disarmed? Why did they let them get on the national? Why did they let them, you know, IBM census everybody? Why did they put the religious preference? Why? This is why, right here. Right here. And it was just pretty much the same reason. External, internal threat. You know, it was the gypsies, the Jews, the homosexuals, the whatever. Well, now it's the brown people. And they're doing exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. And you don't think so? Ask Pastor Henderson back there about checkpoints. So I'm going, you know, here we go. Now, one of the other things that they did that I you know, definitely caught on was they got a lot of things, like when they pull you over and so on, and if you're transporting someone illegally, they can confiscate your car, they do all this, they confiscate, RICO Act, seizures, yada, 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 yada. But where does the, you know, the money for that go? It doesn't go to general fund, it always goes to law enforcement to encourage them to do it. It goes to a special fund that funds more little SWAT teams going out and checking people for ID. It's self-propelling. I'm going, okay, you know, that always makes me feel warm and fuzzy. What are the other things? Oh yeah, I know what I want to talk to you about. The national ID part. Oh man, these guys kill me. Let's see. Pharmacy informed by the state clerk subdivision. All right. Okay, page 2, line 21. Except as provided in federal law, officials, okay, individuals, officials, or agencies, entire agencies of this state and counties and cities and towns and other political subdivisions, anything that is a government, they got a database, any kind of information or whatever. This is county recorder's office, this is all your homeowning documents, this is all of, you know, when you go utilities, you know, APS, is that public, private, what is that? Okay, remember a legislator came out, we need to be able to determine who the illegals are and turn off their electricity? That bill, remember that one? Other political subdivisions of this state may not be prohibited or in any way be restricted from sending, receiving, or maintaining information relating to the immigration status, lawful or unlawful, of any individual or exchanging that information with any other federal, state, or local governmental entity for the following official purposes. determining eligibility for any public benefit, verifying any claim of residence or domicile, get an apartment building, fill an application, go get a job. I mean, any activity. You can't stop them from transmitting or receiving any political subdivision of the state, city, town, any government agency from with the federal government, or back and forth. Fusion center, okay? So I'm going, how is this not national ID? This is what they said.
It's an immigration status? Like, I don't have an immigration status, so that doesn't refer to me, does it?
Lawful or unlawful. It is everybody.
Information status, comma, lawful or, I'm not lawful or unlawful because I don't have an immigration status.
How do you know when you stop someone whether they're an immigrant or not? You got to check something. You go, hey, I'm lawfully here. I'm white and don't have an accent. They go, oh, okay. Everybody gets checked. John.
There's still an immigration status between a U.S. and a state citizen. So yes, you do. You just don't know it. Everybody has an immigration status.
Yeah, no, either you are or you're not. I mean, it's not, you know, it's like...
Are you a U.S. or Arizona citizen?
Okay, don't even go down that road. Okay.
Briefly, most of us in here are not U.S. citizens, we're American citizens. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm not.
Citizen of the state of Arizona.
Yeah, see, these are all, none of this is, they're gonna, you can make all this argument you want in court, and they're gonna tell you whatever they want. That's my point. Okay, now let me go ahead and, get to this point where I said, you're gonna have all, you cannot restrict all the transfer of data between the state or anywhere else and the federal government. Right? They're going, yeah, but it's not national ID. How is it not national ID? And this is what they said. Officials or agencies of this state and counties, cities, towns, and other political subdivisions of the state may not be prohibited or in any way restricted from sending, receiving, blah, blah, blah. It says you can't be prohibited or restricted. It doesn't require you to send it, so it's not national ID.
Oh, I feel better.
Well, there you go.
That was their argument.
No problem.
They said it's not national ID because it doesn't require the transfer of information. It only prevents you from stopping any official. It doesn't even say agency. It doesn't say, with the approval of. It doesn't say a vote. It doesn't say after a determination of a committee. It didn't say, man, if you got a shiny badge, you're an official, you get access to that database, it's going. Done. Over. School records. Pictures.
They just eliminated all privacy then.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like I had any illusion we had it anyway. I just didn't expect them to, rub it in my face with dirt on it, So I'm going, so what are we looking at here so far? I mean, this is just as far as we've gotten. We have the legislature finds that there's compelling interest. Well, that's open for interpretation, whatever the hell that is. I say the compelling interest is the state protecting my individual rights. That's my compelling interest. Does it mention that in here? No. Is there even really a protection of the border? We're going to take the checkpoints where they beat up pastors and put it on the border? Are we going to put troops down? Are we even going to allow American Arizona citizens to do it? Heck no. What do? They make it all banned off limits. You can't go buffer zone now. We just seeded it. What was this, the Cardassian Romulan neutral zone or something? So I'm just going, wow. So the compelling interest is not elimination of the welfare state. It's not to stop the state from stealing from me. It's who gets access to the trough that they created. Of course, they get their cut. And you have the government agencies going up to people going, you look like you need a WIC program. You look like you need to fill out this form in welfare day law. We got Section 8 housing. That's going food stamps. 40% of the American households have food stamps now? I was like, wow. But see, you're not complaining about that. You complain about them getting it. Well, I didn't complain about the guy taking the money from me for it. Am I allowed to complain about that? Just wondering, okay? What kind of country are we in? What kind of country are you guys begging for right here?